Joining me now is retired Los Angeles Police Department Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey. She's also the author of Black and Blue, Creation of a Social Advocate. Sergeant Dorsey, thank you so much for being with us. So after a 2-year review of the Louisville Metro Police Department, the DOJ found police had engaged in a pattern of violating constitutional rights, discriminating against black people, engaging in excessive force and invalid searches. And this review came in response to the 2020 death of Breonna Taylor, a black woman fatally shot during that botched raid in her own home. What is your response to these findings?
Well, it's not surprising. And, they keep coming out with these investigative reports to corroborate what Black folks know happens day in and day out. This is their lived experience. And so I'm appreciative of what Merrick Garland is doing and compelling this police department to now do in response to his investigation. Police chiefs, sheriffs, and commissioners, they only understand one thing, and that's a consent decree. When they're forced, when their hand is forced to take action, to hold officers accountable, to reform their agencies, they will behave during that time. And what often happens is once the consent decree ends, then it goes back to business as usual. So this is a great first step.
And some changes have apparently already been implemented by the Louisville Police Department. But now that this report has been released, what more needs to be done based on these findings?
Well, there needs to be real accountability. And so we know now that there has been an agreement with the police department and the attorney general as a result of their investigation to end no-knock warrants there in that city, which is great. We need to have an end to no-knock warrants, I think, across all 18,000 of these police departments. We know that there was a pattern and practice of excessive use of force and bad behavior by their officers. The Louisville department had a pretext use of force elite unit, much like they had there in Memphis. In Louisville, it was called the Vipers until they disbanded it, gave it a new name, called it something else, and then they continued on with the bad behavior. So listen, there needs to be real accountability. We don't need a national registry of officers who misbehave and engage in this kind of activity. They know exactly who the bad actors are. They're already on a list. That's how they were able to determine what was going on. And so now that we know who the officers are, what are we going to do about it? I would suggest getting them off the police department. I would suggest, if you can't get them off your department, to at the very least, get them out of patrol, take them out of the field. It's not a right to drive around nightly in a patrol car.
And the DOJ also announced it will review the Memphis Police Department's use of force and its policies in the wake of the death of Tyre Nichols. What do you expect will come out of that report, and how many more will need to be done before we see acceptable changes in police practices that don't end in the deaths of mostly black men and women?
Probably 18,000, since that's how many law enforcement agencies there are across these United States. And so I expect much of the same to come out of any investigation, any review and oversight on the Memphis Police Department. Again, at least 3 of those officers that were involved in the fatal beating of Tyre Nichols had been previously disciplined for engaging in police misconduct. So again, we have a police chief who knew exactly who these officers were, and she failed to take appropriate action. She failed to properly have these officers supervised. She failed to listen to her community members when they would come in and lodge complaints about these officers. And so it's never until there's a death, as in the case of Tyre Nichols or George Floyd or Breonna Taylor or any other name I could go on and on with, that everybody starts clutching their pearls and pretending like this is something that's new to them, and maybe they should take a look at the miscreants that they've been employing on their department.
Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey, thank you so much for joining us.